Today I thought I'd show you how I get my stitch and flip corners, also known as snowball corners, perfect, or as near perfect as we can in the quilting world. I'm working on blocks using this darling Lisa Audit Santa's Tree Farm fabric. You can see I have some already made, and I'll be showing you how I go ahead and get them all finished and make them perfect. So you're gonna need your blocks, obviously. You're gonna need a ruler. I have my 3.5 by 12 ruler. I have a water-soluble marking pen. You can also use diagonal seam tape, and I'll show you how to use that. And then you also need some fabric glue. This is Acorn Precision Piecing Glue. I really like this because it has such an awesome tip right there. It's got a little fuzz on it. But that's a precision tip. So we're going to go ahead and get started with how to do this. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to draw corner to corner on my squares. Now, because I'm doing a side block for my table runner, I don't need a complete full block, so we're just going to use the side one. And one of the things that I do to help me get my lines perfectly lined up is I use, on my ruler, I use this 45-degree line right here. I'm going to line that up with the edge of my fabric and make sure that it lines up to the corner. And then that gives me exactly where to put my line. So I'm always correct every time I draw those lines, corner to corner, just like that. Do the other one. Anything that your ruler can help you with is awesome. That's why there's so many different markings. Be careful not to pull your fabric and stretch it while you're drawing. Okay, put the lid on that. Now I'm going to take my block and I'm going to make sure that I get my corners arranged the way I want, because heaven forbid I put them in the wrong place. So we're going to go corner to corner. So one corner of my block my square is going to go in the middle of my block, but I'm going to get my glue and I'm just going to put a few drops just along the edge and in the corner. I don't want to glue the entire block all the way down on all the edges that are lining up, and then I want to just get that lined up. I might drag my fingernail over a little bit to get it lined up. But that's how you do that. Let's do this other one. So I'll probably put glue from a couple inches, 1.5 inches or so, and I just put a few drops. I don't put a lot. You don't need a lot. Make sure that my lines are going the correct direction again. Line up the edges of my fabric. Get the corners lined up right in the corner. And then press it down. Right there. Then I would let this dry flat for a few minutes before I go over to the sewing machine and sew. So let's go over and sew now. So now I'm at my machine. I have my diagonal seam tape already lined up in case I don't want to use the lines that I drew on my squares, but that will still help. I have my stack of squares so I can just chain piece. And I have my leader in place. I have my point of my square lined up with my presser foot. There's a gap in my presser foot, so I can see the line and follow the line. I'm going to keep this point lined up with the red line on my diagonal seam tape, and I am ready to sew. When I'm done, slide the ender in. Make sure they match. They don't match, then I know I have to do some unsewing. This one doesn't match. So now I have to unsew. This one didn't get lined up. I was in a hurry. I was nervous about being on camera, whatever. It didn't line up. Maybe it wasn't cut square, but it didn't get lined up properly. And now it fits beautifully. Now it's time to press my corners back carefully because this is now on the bias and I don't want to stretch it. I will heat set my pieces. Then I will roll it back with my hand. Make sure that it fits properly and that it lines up with everything and stays square. And then I will put my iron on top of it and hold it. Same with this side. Roll it back. Put the iron on it. All that's left to do now is to trim off my excess fabric. I have 2 extra layers here that I need to remove. I take my ruler and line it up, 1/4 inch line on my thread stitching line, and trim off my little triangles. Could I do something with these? Possibly. Don't throw them away. Voila, all done. Be sure to grab your own Smart Start Quilters Toolkit with 6 bonus training videos of what I wish I knew when I started quilting.